Hello, everybody. It is Friday, October 11th. I didn't think I'd be back this quick, but this news is pretty important. I got through Twitter, found that there was an article on October 4th from the Jerusalem Post that says Russia is set to boost silver reserves in major precious metals strategy shift. Russia shifts precious metals strategy, adding silver to state reserves along with gold, platinum, and palladium, potentially impacting global markets as central banks reconsider silver's value. I've done this series called The Death of the Dollar inside the Silver Shield series, where it talks about how the BRICS nations are trying to take down the global hegemony of the US dollar. And silver is a major important part of it. The reason why the dollar became the dollar is because the dollar used to be silver. 371.25 grains of pure silver was the legal definition of what a dollar was back then, before we had all this fiat currency. So the world is planning, especially Russia, China, and India, are planning on dethroning the dollar, and they're going to do it by using the metals that created the power in the first place. This is against all Western banks that are all debt-based fiat Ponzi schemes. So we have the Eurozone, the United States, the whole world is basically on this global generational debt-based fiat Ponzi scheme. And when it pops, all those currencies, all of them at the same time, it would be nothing short of a biblical event of world-ending economics. But at some point, you have to revalue everything and start all over again. And that's why the last time I came to you, I talked about a 1-to-1 gold to silver ratio. And it seems like it's far outside the realm of possibilities. But you have to understand, like during a global financial collapse, those are the only safe havens that are out there. And I think silver's been so manipulated, even relative to gold, that it's at a 1-to-85 gold to silver ratio, when it makes no sense, because they're trading 400 paper contracts for every one ounce of physical silver that they have there. And just to keep the price down. But once the price gets out, especially if major nations such as Russia, China, and India are starting to take silver off the markets, and they're doing it not off the COMEX or the LBMA, they're going directly to the miners, and that's subverting the amount of metal that's going into the markets. At some point, the COMEX and the LBMA are going to default, and that's going to be the single largest event in human history, because it marks the end of a global generational debt-based fiat Ponzi scheme. So this is all major news. Another rumor that's going around is that Warren Buffett, who used to be invested in silver, in fact, the silver ETF silver of 135 million ounces used to belong to Buffett, and that was part of the way of him getting out of that trade. Mainly because the Rothschilds and the real money powers, you think of these billionaires as being like, the richest people on earth, but that's not true. The people that own the Federal Reserve, that own the central banks, are trillionaires. And that's the Rothschilds, and they don't want anybody, especially Warren Buffett, to ruin that with buying silver. But getting back to Warren Buffett and what he's doing now, he's at the end of the 2008 financial crisis. Warren Buffett came in and rescued Wall Street and bought up Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, a bunch of stocks to show confidence in the American banking system. Now he's doing the opposite of it. He's deleveraging and de-investing Bank of America. And the reason why they say that is because they said Bank of America is short physical silver. So if Bank of America is short physical silver, we have this huge Ponzi scheme that's going on there, and then major nations like Russia and China and India are buying gold or buying silver hand over fist, because all they've talked about this whole time is gold, and the gold men have no problem dealing with that, because gold just sits there, it doesn't do anything, and it's going to sit there through everything. But it's real, and it's finite, and it has intrinsic value, but it doesn't have anywhere near the uses that silver does. And that's why when Russia says that they're going to boost silver reserves in a major precious metals shift, that means my word is finally getting through to somebody. Unfortunately, it's getting through to Russia and not out into Alex Jones space or Joe Rogan space, where I could wake up the American people to understand that this is our last shot. Like, once this cat's out of the bag, you'll never be able to get precious metals for what we're getting today, especially silver. Silver is at a 1-to-86 ratio, and if it goes to a 1-to-1 ratio, the purchasing power of that physical silver is going to be outstanding. It's going to be like a supernova event. And it's easy to get to a 1-to-1 gold to silver ratio, because once you start taking the dollar targets away from there, because silver can go anywhere that the dollar depreciates, but there's 6 times more gold in vaults than there is physical silver. And that's because gold in vaults just sits there and will continue to sit there generation after generation. But the physical amount of physical silver is being used and consumed inside 10,000 industrial uses. So physical silver and platinum and palladium, which is the other thing that Russia is going to do, or industrial metals too. So you have an industrial component to it, a technological component to it. You have a monetary and financial crisis on top of it as a safe haven asset. So silver is lining up to be this explosive thing. And I know that it's going to be so quiet and calm up until it explodes. And then that's going to be it forever. And then I probably won't have to do videos anymore, because out of the frustration, I have to come out and do these videos, to make it seem like it's still a sane thing to do, to be buying physical silver when every other asset in the everything bubble is at all-time highs, and silver's still 40% below its 1980 high. And its 1980 high was $50. But if you know what the purchasing power of $50 in 1980 is, the equivalent of $1,750 now, because there's 35 times more debt in the United States economy relative to 1980. In 1980, there was only $1 trillion. Now it's $35 trillion. So there's $35 trillion more of intangible debt-based fiat Ponzi scheme out there. And there's less and less physical silver. In fact, there was probably billions of more ounces back in 1980 that didn't even have the use of solar panels, electric cars, all these components that are using physical silver and using it in such quantities that it's making it become extinct. There's this 1-to-6 ratio now of mining in physical silver relative to gold, meaning for 1 ounce of gold, you find 6 ounces of silver. That used to be 1-to-12, 1-to-16 back in the day, but now that silver's becoming more hard to find, it's the ratio is declining. So between a 1-to-6 gold to silver ratio in the ground and a 6-to-1 gold to silver ratio above ground, the combination of those two, especially on a reckoning day, a judgment day, an end of everything, the whole world comes to a stop, gold to silver should be traded at parity, and that would provide financial gravity to build whatever is going to come out of the mess of this. And for people who held physical silver, will be able to save their wealth for the entire generations. This is a huge bet out there that I've been working on for a long time, and it's slowly coming to an end. I get more, pumped up when I start seeing people like Putin adding silver to their stockpiles, because they know that this is a big thing that's coming. So if you're interested in supporting me, you can go to chrisduane silvershieldcoins.com. It's my new site that I put and showed all 600 of the silver coins out there that told the story of the death of the dollar inside silver coins, that these coins are going to be around hundreds and thousands of years past the time that these videos and these companies and these nations live. These coins will survive all of that stuff, and it provides a tremendous buffer, and also makes silver stacking exciting. I mean, I hated government buying government bullion. It's boring. But Silver Shield out there, if you go to Chris Duane silvershieldcoins.com, you can go there and you can buy the new ones that are available today, such as Elon Musk. I did an Elon Musk coin called Dogecoin, where Elon Musk is going to come in and clean house the federal government. And the other one is Make America Great Again, which is a Donald Trump design that's very timely. And that these coins are only available for 1 week only, and then they become collector's items on eBay. But you can go to chrisduane silvershieldcoins.com. I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bye.